did that. Sharu. And he did, play against Fly one time back in the day.
This is just 0 to 75. This is not the biggest differential. Okay. Zoo with some really good chases on the Tex end.
Yeah, it's pretty big damage.
Oh, that's it. Dude, honestly, Zoo
looking great this whole crew battle.
This whole tournament, actually.
He might be a very important role in their crew making it.
We were all right.
I remember I had a conversation with Shroom Doan. I think we were just roughly talking about retirement in some way, and he basically was like, Zoo, don't retire until you've won a major. So there's two things with that. Obviously, I've never won a major. But two, I don't think I've ever, in my whole 13 years, really had the mentality of like really wanting to win a major. I think I've gotten close a lot of times, and my mentality going in is like, oh, I just want to do well. But I've never thought like, I want to be the best player in the world. But I would say that's my biggest regret, is that I don't think I ever truly gave it my all and had like the heart of a champion, the way that like the previous top players all have had, yeah. You know, I feel like relative to the rest of the community, I've actually been pretty consistent throughout the whole like 13 years, which is kind of strange, but I would say definitely Genesis 1 is like not only my breakout, but it's my best win, again, relative to everyone else, because at Genesis 1, again, it was only 300 people. That's like a SoCal local now, right? But getting 4th place, knocking Mewtwo King into 5th place is pretty absurd. Thinking back, like there was no reason why I should have beaten Mewtwo King at that tournament. Again, like that's really what put me on the map for a lot of people. I think before then, no one ever thought of me as a top 10 player. Yeah, Smash has pretty much affected everything. Not to say that, like, if I had to think about my friends and my social network, I wouldn't want to say that like maybe with Smash it's better, but like currently right now when I think of my friend groups and my connections, like I can't really think of a better group of people to know. For example, like at my wedding, all of my groomsmen all connected through Smash, and I think that's extremely meaningful to me. So I mean, there's the good where through competing for many years and just like traveling and actually having to sit down next to just a ton of different people, I've ended up meeting a lot of people that I never would have. It's pretty crazy. Smash has been a very strange journey for me. I didn't expect it to take up like or just be a part of every aspect of my life, but here we are. So I did well at EVO 2016. I couldn't really repeat that, unfortunately. And, you know, especially with like my job and like my life situation, it was very difficult for me to feel very prepared going into tournaments. And so going to tournaments, instead of being like, oh, this is an opportunity for me to do well, it was very stressful. And I realized like, I can't do this forever, and I'm gonna do this for a year, give it all that I can reasonably give. And if I don't do well, then it's time for me to retire as a player. Right? And yeah, you know, I didn't think too hard about it over the year. Like I went to Genesis, I went to a couple other majors and didn't do super well, kind of had the same feelings. And honestly, like when this EVO came around and obviously I didn't make top 16 or whatever, it felt like it was like a burden lifted a little bit, yeah. I don't think I'm ever gonna let go of the Smash community. I'm retired as a player, and you know, part of that is like, well, you know, I've been competing. It no longer has like the same kind of personal fulfillment that it did before, but I think I'm in a pretty good position to, you know, do something for the community, right? And I think content is one of those things. So an idea that I had that I'm blatantly ripping off of is Humans of New York, which for those who aren't familiar is like this content piece where originally came from this guy who did random interviews with people in New York. It's just a portrait and a pretty powerful piece of an interview. And it's just really humanizing people, right? Specifically New York at the time, but he's done it with so many people. And I think just being part of the Smash community for some 13 years, I've met a lot of people from very different backgrounds. And I think that's one of the beautiful things with Melee, is that Melee is a game where there are many schools of thoughts. If you look at the top 6, they all think about the game very, very differently. And you can say that all up until, you know, the people who get 0-2, right? Yeah, within Smash, there's so many different groups of people, so many different schools of thoughts, so many different stories from the last 13 years. And I really want to put them out there because I think they're very powerful. And I think a lot of people like don't know or even think about the stories behind the people that they see on screen or even behind the scenes. While I'm retired as a player, I'll still be around. So, you know, I guess to anyone who's ever cared about me in Smash, thank you, obviously. I don't know, I feel like it's weird that anyone knows who I am at all because, again, I'm like the most, I think of myself as like the most normal dude ever who happened to be good at a video game. And I don't know, it's just been really cool to be able to like travel and compete and to be able to express myself and to have anyone who even cares about that at all. That's super cool. So I guess just please keep supporting whatever I do, I guess, and the Smash community. I don't know how I want to be remembered yet. I don't think that's ever really been a motivation of mine. I think, you know, when I put out the retirement tweet, when I was at EVO, I had a lot of people tell me that, hey, like, you know, it really sucks that you're not playing anymore, but like, I want you to know that, you know, maybe I played a part in them picking Falco, or maybe they modeled their playstyle after me. That's super cool. I love that. But I would never say that that was like my motivation or anything like that. Yeah, I guess just, if anything, just if people could remember me by something or just like be inspired in some way, it's just be a nice person. I don't know, just like care about the people around you, something like that. I don't know. Damn, you got 5th at Genesis 2? Wow. I wonder if there's anything better than that.
We went and played some friendlies with the people next door.
Shout outs to those guys.
He's just ping-ponging him. That's going to be it. Zoo takes it for the USA. 2 stocks lead. The USA take Air 5 International Drews over Germany in the grand.
Hey, this is Boxer Zoo. Really hope you enjoyed this very intimate talk with me. If you want to see more quality content like this, please like and subscribe the HTC Esports channel. There'll be more waiting for you.
I'm gonna give this to Andrew, he's gonna be like, what the f is going on? Yeah.